Hey guys, I'm Rich. Welcome to Rich with Cars. On this week's video, I'm going to be going over this amazing car right behind me, the AMG S63 Coupe. Very rare vehicle. If you haven't seen my first video in terms of the first impressions when I took delivery of this car, make sure to check it out. I'm going to put a link up top for you guys to take a look. But I've rented this vehicle now for about 10 days here my stay in Montreal during my quick vacation. And I want to give you guys my top 3 likes and top 3 dislikes. Of course, every single vehicle has to have a few things that might be a little bit annoying, but overall this car is absolutely amazing. And I want you guys to dive in with me and take a look at the top 3 things that I loved about this car and the top 3 things that I didn't like too much, even though I'm nitpicking a little bit. So guys, as always, let's strap in and take a look. So let's get started with the things I wasn't too crazy about on this vehicle. I mean, this car, all in all, in general, is an absolutely amazing vehicle. Of course, as a brand new vehicle, it was very expensive. We're probably looking at about 170,000 US dollars. We're looking probably at about little bit over $200,000 Canadian. So let me get started anyways with the first thing that I wasn't too crazy about. So it's actually on the inside, and you won't notice this right away, but let me show you guys. When you're trying to, let's say, regulate something on the infotainment screen using the rotary knob over here, sometimes if let's say I rest my palm on this, because it's sensitive to the touch, I'm actually adjusting over here, as you guys can see, but then my palm is touching this part right here. So you guys can see that it's touch sensitive. So you see that? How it just touches that? So even if I just lightly tap this, for example. So I lightly tap this, I won't even click on it, but lightly tap it and you'll see it'll select the passenger seat. See that? How I just switched that? So that happens sometimes when I'm actually doing some sort of selection using the rotary knob and my palm taps on the little pad over here. So that's one little annoyance or dislike that I don't like about this, is the fact that as you're trying to select and use the rotary knob, of course there's redundancy in terms of the controls between the rotary and the touchpad, but if you prefer using the touchpad, you got to be careful in terms of having your palm resting on this, because it'll mistakenly select something by just tapping on the actual little pad over there. So that's the first thing that I disliked about this car. So second thing that I disliked about this car, I mean, it's not a huge thing. You got to expect that if you're getting yourself into a coupe. But before I show you guys, I just want to show you how big this car is. It's based off of the S-Class, but it's a coupe. And you guys can see how large and in charge this thing is. It's kind of like a yacht on wheels. And it definitely feels like that because of its opulence and luxury. But I mean, if you're going to be getting something so big as a coupe, you'd be expecting, especially with this size, that the trunk would be a little bit bigger. And you guys can see that we don't have much space, and I'll show you guys on the screen the size or the volume of the trunk. But given its size, I mean, at the end of the day, it's really not that large, and I have to say it's somewhat disappointing to do that. I would say that this is dislike number 2. Dislike number 3, kind of related to the second one, but it's not exactly with the trunk, it's more with the back seat. So once again, given this car's size, I mean, you guys get to see how large this vehicle is. You'd expect to have a little bit more backseat space. That's with the seats fully forward and opened up. But look at the passenger side. I mean, somebody who wants to sit over there in the back is not going to have much legroom space, let's just say. And this is not a small car, to say the least. Now, of course, the opulence and the luxury continues here in the back. Definitely respect Mercedes for continuing with the really awesome materials used here in the rear. And of course, you have some additional space here in the rear with some climate vents over there. But you have some additional storage over there. But like I said before, I mean, I actually had 2 friends that wanted to come into the car with me. and fortunately we didn't have a very long drive. So one of them, of course, sat in the front, moved his passenger seat all the way up so that the rear passenger would be able to sit in the back. And of course, I made him take off his shoes because I didn't want to have anything dirty in the rear over there. So, you know, if you're getting into this car and you see the size, don't expect to have much rear space for the rear passengers. And on top of that, like I said in number 2, you won't have much trunk space as well. So I would say that really does it for the dislikes on this car, because ultimately this car in general is a phenomenal vehicle. Let's get into the top 3 likes that I love about this car. The first like that I love on this vehicle is its opulent and luxurious interior. I mean, guys, look at this. It's really close to levels of you know, Bentley, almost as close as Rolls-Royce, I would say. But I mean, look at this. You got leather all the way from top to bottom on the door cards. You got beautiful accenting in real aluminum. You got the Burmeister sound system with a really nice speaker cover, and then you got the carbon fiber inlays. And then let's just take a look at the interior just in general. I mean, look at these seats, man. I've never seen seats that big and that bolstered as these. And let's not forget, these seats also have a multi-massage function. Then you look at the steering wheel as well. The steering wheel is really, really nice. It's probably amongst one of my favorites. I love the flat bottom portion with the aluminum accenting on the steering wheel. And then you got the multi-controls on the wheel itself. These little sort of controls, they're kind of like touchpads, and they're haptic. That allows you to control different portions of the vehicle. The left one allows you to control the gauge cluster itself, and the right one allows you to control the infotainment screen. So, but all in all, I mean, if you take a look at the interior, you got absolute luxury. You got AMG right here on the seat. The rear continues with the gorgeous materials as well. And then you also have Alcantara headliner as well. You have a Falterbach AMG basically stamped on your middle console over here, with a middle console that basically opens 2 separate ways. Driving the S63 AMG Coupe. Now let's get into the second and third likes. So I actually drove this car now for, like I said, about 10 days. And just in the past couple of days, I drove it long distance, actually. I drove it over 150 kilometers for long drives towards, you know, let's just say out of town. And I can tell you one thing, guys, that I absolutely adore about this car is the fact that it's got a dual personality. And what I mean by that is, it's got the opulent, luxurious interior with comfortable seats, with massage seats. So when you're driving on long drives and you just want to cruise, you just put on your massage seats, you just chill out, and you have a very quiet interior. Let's not forget that this car also has double paned windows, and it's got an amazing build quality. So when you want to just drive, chill out, be in a sort of luxurious sort of environment, you definitely get that. You barely get any of the outside noise as you're driving the vehicle, as I'm doing right now. But at the same time, when you need to overtake somebody, or if you want to just drive a little bit more, let's just say spirited, this car will give you that. And that's ultimately down to its suspension adjustability, and also to its engine itself. The powertrain in this is absolutely amazing. So like I said before, when you want to drive really fast, you get that, and I'll show you guys a little bit right now. I mean, you really want to do something, you got no problems in terms of overtaking anybody over here. So that is like number 2, the fact that this vehicle has an amazing dual personality. You can put it into comfort drive mode and you'd be all chill, or you can put it into Sport Plus or race mode and you get the engine note or this exhaust note right behind you. And you got amazing performance intentions that allows you to drive this car quite spiritedly. The last like on this vehicle that I'm absolutely in love with is the powertrain. How could you not love the AMG powertrain? This thing is absolutely incredible. You got a 4-liter twin turbo V8 that basically has a torque curve all the way from the bottom all the way to the top. And the good thing about that is that it gives you the flexibility of accelerating or overtaking other vehicles on the highway, or even a short distance. For example, if you're doing city driving and you just want to overtake somebody, not a problem. The other cool thing about this is the fact that it does have an amazing exhaust note. AMG is known for that. Let me show you guys a little bit. Wow, that is absolutely incredible. Listen to that. So this powertrain basically has, if I'm not wrong, and I'll put it up on the screen, about 612 horsepower and 664 pounds per foot of torque. I mean, in today's world of crazy exotic cars, it probably doesn't compare, but like for something like this, it's really, really awesome to have this, because you have all the power at the push of a pedal, basically. I want to say that that is the last like. Of course, there are many others, but those are my top 3 likes, and this basically tops it off with no problems. The powertrain on this is absolutely amazing, and you would not be disappointed in any way. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this quick overview of my top 3 likes and dislikes on this amazing yacht on wheels, the 2018 Mercedes-Benz S63 AMG Coupe. No car is perfect. I was nitpicking on this. Generally speaking, this car is absolutely a dream to drive, given the fact that it's a 2018 and it still has so much tech and so much luxury compared to other vehicles in the segment nowadays. I mean, it's absolutely just amazing, to be honest. I mean, the three dislikes that I mentioned, like I said before, are just nitpicking. Ultimately, if you're going to be getting a coupe, you better be expecting some things or some sacrifices, like for example, a smaller trunk or little to no backseat space. Aside from that, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you have an opportunity, make sure to test this car out. And if you have an opportunity to purchase it, I highly recommend it, because it's probably an amazing vehicle for you guys to own and drive. As always, guys, make sure to follow me, check out some of the other videos in the collection, and I'll see you guys next time. All right, guys, thanks. Take care. Bye-bye.